Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spring Championships for the round of 16. This is game number 2 in a best of 5 between Spadel and Veni Vidi Vici, whatever his name is. Of course, Veni was casting with me. He can't do that whilst he's playing, so we have, as in the previous game, Snow. I am joined by Snow, absolutely. Out of interest, Snow, why did you pick 3 Ws? Were you just like, oh, I'm going to call myself Snow, S-O-N-W? Oh, nah, that name's taken, I know. 2 Ws.
Nah, I didn't do this account. I just got it from a friend.
Oh, I see. But you shouldn't say things like that on stream. But we do have in the west of the map, in the colour teal. Sorry, in the colour green, actually. The Russians playing, of course, as the civilization Spadel, starting with 200 wood, absolutely. And picking up the 40 wood treasure. Really nice for him. And has a 40 coin treasure on the other side of his base. He's going to be very happy with that when he sees it. Definitely in line of sight of that town centre. Going to lay down that early market nice and easily. And, or he could even go for a trading post. You don't have to collect 60 wood. Like, you don't often see that as Russia, but probably not going to do that. Probably just go with the market, and maybe even neither, because, well, certainly going to go with the market, but you can save that wood for an earlier blockhouse and definitely get that up very quickly. But that's not always the most secure thing to do.
No. Yeah, with 40 wood treasure, it could even be. The problem is with 200 wood start, if you go for TP, because you need a house very fast as Russian, because your 3 settlers just come so fast, and otherwise you get popped fast. And yeah, but okay, with 40 wood treasure, you just have to gather 60. I think that's able, but I still wouldn't do that, I guess.
60 wood, of course, with for the house, and then you have to collect 50 and 50 wood, 50 coin for that. But has a 90 coin treasure. Gonna be happy about that. Didn't go for his fort. Oh, he did. I think he picked that up with a villager or something like that. But doesn't have to collect any coin. Is gonna be pretty happy about that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, because they train in batches of 3, you get your first batch in queue, and then when you queue your second batch, you overpop to 11, and you're like, oh, like as most other civs, you could just queue the 8th, 9th, and 10th villager without having to build a house. But as Russia, you cannot do that. So yes, getting the early market can be kind of awkward, as of course Snow is pointing out. 60 wood though, Veni going to pick that up. He's going to be pretty happy about that. Nice treasure. That is, I believe, his first treasure. No, he did find an 80 XP as well, playing as the Russians. This is a Russian mirror. Oh, okay. Wow, this is going to be pretty fun. Russian mirrors can be very aggressive, can be very bloody, and I'm actually surprised that Spadel, I wasn't aware of the matchup before we started, I probably should have looked, but I'm surprised Spadel's going for the market there. Obviously with the wood it's perhaps not quite as surprising, but traditionally, don't you want to lay down this forward blockhouse really, really quite forward, and make sure that, you know, you have to secure the hunts and stuff. What do you think of the Russian mirror, Snow?
I think both gonna start with a blockhouse almost in the middle. It's always very important for a Russian to save the map.
Yeah.
So you go early on, usually not for a blockhouse at your at home. Maybe when you play against some aggressive civs, which go often for weight like Siu.
Yeah.
But it's a mirror, so now both want to get the map.
Yep.
And yeah, I think maybe one blockhouse will gonna be here and another here, and then we'll see some early fights on. Yeah.
Very bloody, as I said, and especially on maps with perhaps poor hunts, though fortunately both players do have very good... Well, actually, Spadel, look at that. That's got pretty nice. He could even get away with a defensive style here. Actually, is going up with the 14 villager age up, but, you know, with the early market and all of this hunt in his base, perhaps could have done 17. Of course, though, then he would not be having... he'd lose the map, perhaps, because he wouldn't be having the forward blockhouse. Snow points out you'd probably want to place it near here, near a coin mine, near all this food, and gather the map. Because Russian mirrors are bloody. It's very aggressive. You have to secure the map to keep going. But interesting thing there. What do you think of that? Would you agree that Spadel could perhaps do what I said?
So can you say again?
Do you think I said he might, with the amount of hunt he has, he might be able to get away with actually going with a 17 village up and playing defensively, or do you think it's just not something you'd ever consider in a Russian mirror, despite having all that hunt?
I think you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
It's just gives the other one so much time when he's shipping like military units, and he could just siege down your blockhouse before you even get something out.
That's true. You're not going to like that. Oh, is he going to place it there, though? No, he doesn't. I was going to say, like, geez, you see your opponent's blockhouse basically fully constructed, and then your opponent, like, if you, like, I don't know, is Spadel going to get this up? He's going to go with the defensive blockhouse here, being forced into it, perhaps. Very far forward from Venny. Of course, he wants to secure as much hunt near this coin mine as he can. Going to be forced into this defensive play style I was talking about. Perhaps not going to be too happy about that. The reason he doesn't want to place this here is because he's probably not going to get that blockhouse up in time for when he ages. And, of course, Venny has he got enough coin? Yes, he does. He's just going to queue a batch of musks super fast, queue his first military shipment, 5 Cossacks, whatever it is, get his explorer over here, start sieging down a blockhouse, and that's why Spadel does not want to put it up there, because he knows his opponent is, like, you can see, like, even this explorer, look how much damage that's done to that blockhouse. It takes ×4 during construction phase. Absolutely insane.
Ah, by the way, look at it. It's very interesting. Spadel just aged with 500 wood, 500 food,
Oh!
instead of 400 wood as Veni did, and which is also the standard usually.
Yeah, you're right. It is the standard to go 400 wood. 400 wood in terms of villager seconds, the amount of time it takes your villagers to gather. 400 wood is so good. Oh, can he take out his opponent's explorer? Snared him with, of course, his. Venny got his explorer on the front, making good use of that. You know, Venny always talking about his explorer. But yes, 400 wood, very efficient shipment. But 500 food perhaps is not so. But definitely 500 food is food. It's going to allow you to get more units out perhaps quicker. The 400 wood gets you a lot of houses.
And that's why he shipped 700 wood now.
Yeah, but both players have done that.
Some. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. What do you think? I don't know. 500 food is certainly going to give him more military in the short term, but in the long term, it just means that he's going to have he's going to have to gather more wood, and his economy's going to slow down as a result of that. But in this early portion, maybe he thinks, oh, I need the but then when he aged, you can't think, oh, I'm going to need the food to survive the early, because you obviously are aging, and that's you make that decision before you know what your opponent's up to. We'll see what he does. We'll see how that plans out for him. But Spadel has received 5 Cossacks. Very good shipment indeed. 750 resources. I say that every time. It's so good. It's better than, like, crates. And it's a military shipment. You don't have to wait for them to range. Traditionally, military shipments are not as good as crates. But that's very good. Both players taking advantage of that strong Russian shipment and going to do some early raiding with it. Oh, Teapot will seize the units there, though.
Yeah, and as we said, in Russian Mirror, you usually want to get the map, and that's what he's also doing here, because so he doesn't want to rush. He's now taking the TPs. He wants he want to have a safe economy.
Yeah.
And this blockhouse just gives Spadel the feeling he wants to rush. So he will
like
get maybe some units out because he knows or he's expecting Vinny to come soon.
Yeah.
But Vinny doesn't even come, so he goes for economy, but Spadel just doesn't do it. Look at now, because he's just scared to push now.
Yeah,
he gets like 50 musketeers and Vinny only has 10, so he would still be able to push right now.
Oh, that's so good. That is like Venny placing this blockhouse far forward, sort of tricking his opponent into thinking he's going to be very aggressive there. And or perhaps even like the other, even maybe it's not even a trick. Maybe he obviously saw the blockhouse going down next to his own blockhouse and thought, oh, I've pushed him back for a defensive blockhouse. I'm just going to sit here and send the 700 wood, make the 2 trading posts, send the spice trade, and make my economy really good. But this is not looking too good here. Spadel has a lot of military units pushing out, has of course not sent the spice trade, and has spent his 700 wood on not things that are trading posts. Has spent his thing on more relevant, like perhaps like units and things. Has sent 13 strelets instead of spice trade. Now Venny on the back foot, gonna have to get pushed back by this because he spent so much on his economy. Not looking too good, not going to be too happy about that. On the retreating there, back to another blockhouse that he's constructed down here, of course, to secure more of the map. But those Cossacks going to catch up with him, snare him, not going to let him get away, and then he's going to be forced to take this fight, even though he doesn't want to, because there are so many more green units. This does not look too good for him at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, 4 Cossacks do pop out just in time, though, but will it be enough to save him? Of course, there are a lot of green musketeers there, and Cossacks are Cossacks, though 5 musketeers do pop out on top of this as well. They're looking okay, has a few more military units, but as I said, Cossacks going to be taking the ×3 damage from the musketeers. Not too good, and those strelets in the back are perfectly okay, just to DPS down the musketeers with their ×2 damage multiplier. Of course, they're holding the rifle, they are skirmisher-style units, and here, Venny absolutely wrecked. He's not going to be too happy about that. Perhaps over-invested on the spice trade there. And as a direct result of that, you know, if he'd not sent spice trade, perhaps sent 4 Cossacks and then had 13 strelets arriving in place of where his 4 Cossacks actually is now, maybe that fight would have gone better for him. Oh no, what do you think?
Yeah, the fight looked very good for Spadel, I think. He had musketeers in melee mode, while like all Vinny's Wait, how many Cossacks he had in this battle?
Veni,
I think he only had.
he had 5 and 4.
Yeah, right. He just fought against Millet Musketeers, and that didn't look too well. But also he had. Also, Spadel had 13 Dwellies, which made much damage against the
Ooh,
Musketeers.
look at that raid. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, that's looking very good
on.
for Spadel.
Although, do we have another engagement here? Veni on the counter push. Of course, he knows his opponent's cavalry is in his base. All of his cavalry, in fact. That's why people get a bit snarky about raiding with all your cav, because then this happens and you're on the back foot yet again. Because you can, Veni knows he doesn't have to worry too much about those cav there.
Oh, just look at that. Spadel going for a next blockhouse. Vini was just going with 5 Musketeers to that.
This economy, though, definitely sort of paying off now. It has all of the upgrades, of course, steel traps, hunting dogs. Spadel does have his placer mines, whereas Veni does not. But certainly, the 2 trading routes, has he got them upgraded? No, he doesn't. But the extra XP, this is why he's got more shipments than his opponent, perhaps. Or will do any moment now, as the next one's most likely to arrive pretty soon. But,
oh, will he get... once left, sure.
Oh, this is, there's a lot of vills there, but fortunately they're not going to get too many goes down. Because he's got the Great Coats upgrade. Does lose 2, though. The response from Veni coming in with all of his Strelets and Musketeers. Pushing him back. Alright, so, at this point in the game, all of this has happened so far. What are we looking at right now? Boyas just arrives for Veni. He's going to sneak that in. Having 2 trading posts definitely allows you to get that out. Really quite nice, and it's got a lot of military units for that to take effect. Spadel, on the other hand, sending 700 food is perhaps a little bit concerned. Sending the food, wants to use that to turn it into military, and it's going to have more military units, but Veni going to secure the more long-term advantage. Boyars. Anyway, I was saying, let's take a look at what's going on right now, but we'll do that in a moment. What do you think? What do you think of that? What's been going on?
Yeah, the continuing weights of Spadel made Vini build a stable, so he's able to catch the weights a little bit. That's why he also got 5 Cossacks out. Meanwhile, Spadel going for some Stwel Mask. Seems very well. And Vini just has many Musketeers.
Oh, Strelet.
Yeah, Strelet and Musketeers.
Strelet and Musk, yeah. Good against Musketeers and cavalry, I suppose.
Yeah, and Vini went for many Musketeers because of the cuff weight.
Yeah.
And he didn't has cuff since so long. But he should adapt to Stwels now, I guess. Otherwise, it would be very hard to be able to stop that Greensmith, because he has so many Stwelets and they do a very good job against Musketeers for sure.
They're there. That's exactly what they counter with their ×2 damage multiplier.
Vini getting a new 3 Cossack spam out.
Yep. I don't know. It's an interesting game so far. I'm surprised he went for such the trading post and such, and being on the back foot in that fight did set him back. But he seems okay now. The scores are relatively even. But after all the raiding is done, and after all of the okay, so he didn't lose. He didn't flat out lose because of the really heavy eco focus. He's in a good spot, but only has 28 vills compared to his opponent's 35. Green is I don't know if Green clearly knows he's done a good job of raiding. I highly doubt Veni. Well, of course, Veni's lost a lot of vills from raiding, and as a direct result of that, Spadel knows that the longer this game goes on, it's going to shift to his favour. He just has to make military units, and that's probably why he sent the 700 food. Just he knows, I just need to not die, and I've got a good economy. 38 villages, look at that. He's almost 10 up. In fact, batch of 3 just trained for Veni, so not quite that far ahead. But yeah, Veni's gonna have to make something happen. But he's got only 51 military unit population compared to 82. Yes, he has Boyars. Looks like he's gonna take the fight though. There are a lot of Strelets there, and of course he does have.
Yeah, this is a very nice position of Spadel, because he has the Strelets just in the middle of the Musketeers.
Yeah, looking for an opening there.
It's not looking too good for the cuff.
No, not taking these cav, not finding an entrance to the Strelets, and that's of course what they want to fight. But whilst he's been looking around, trying to get a surround on the Strelets, Spadel been doing a good job of covering the holes up so the cav can't get in, and the cav have just been walking around, taking too much damage, not actually fighting anything himself. And now, as a direct result of that, all the cav are gone, and it's just basically Strelets versus Musketeers. A couple of cav come in, and I'm sure Veni's going to keep fighting until those cav are dead. But once they die, it is just Strelets versus Musketeers. Strelets have the ×2 damage multiplier, and he's gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That fight did not go too well for him. Despite having the Boyar's upgrade, I guess it just comes down to not getting the opening with the Cav, not being able to counter the units to which that he wants to counter, because the Musketeers are just blocking him from getting in there. And of course the military population, sheer military population matters as well. Of course Spadel has quite a lot of that. Taking out that blockhouse there. Though he's not out, Veni's still in an okay. He has 2 trading posts, though obviously the shipments are going to slow down. 700 coin. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
I talk too much. You should say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I think Vini's still in a okay situation.
Yeah. Despite the villager disparity, obviously he's not going to like that, but he's in an okay spot. It's not over yet. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, and has...
Oh, yeah, okay, so settlers running, that's good.
Yeah,
Otherwise you could have lose them also.
Still has Hunt though. He's still got a place to gather, but you know, Spadel does have a large army, and 700. I don't know. It's looking tough, but he's. We'll see what he can make of it. Maybe he can get a nice raid. And yes, no, that's not a raid. I should have spotted that though. But
yeah, he got catched very good.
Yeah. See Spadel making a good job of keeping some cav back there to stop any raids, or at least catching the Cossacks when he sees them. Oh my god, that's a lot of cav, right? He's obviously from his stable, used that 700 coin that he shipped to turn it into cavalry here. That's a lot of Cossacks, these musketeers, and a couple of strelets in there just want to kill off these musketeers there, and then he can get, of course, all of these Cossacks into combat with the strelets, and there's not really that much anti-cavalry here. These strelets very, very weak, only 85 hit points, going to go down very quickly to, of course, the cavalry here. 5 musketeers popping out of the blockhouse, quite nice, since, of course, it's very low HP, didn't manage to bring it down, but I don't think it's enough Cossacks. Reinforcements arriving from green, more musketeers here to counter, of course, the cavalry, and there's some Cossacks as well, going to use those to essentially be pseudo-anti-cav, going to block there. Despite the cav mass from the 700 coin that Benny sent, here it is down there, he's not able to secure that, and I think, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're probably going to...
Yeah, I know, it's looking very good for Spadel.
It's very good for Spadel. 700 food, though, knows he's behind, has to continue pumping out these Cossacks. But it's looking tough. 49 military population versus 12, and Spadel has a 7 villager lead and has had that lead for at least five minutes now, and that's a long time. That's gonna you can see the score gap getting wider over the course of the game, and we'll take a look at the post-game graphs and show that. Veni needs to make something happen. Like, he has to catch these strelets out of position, or he has to get a nice big raid in. He has to do something to catch back up here, and Spadel now just going to lock down the win, I think, with the Schooners card, that late game sort of thing, just going to add even more to his economy as, of course, well, he's running out of Hunt, but that's a nice thing to take at some point anyway, and you're quite far ahead. You can afford to slow down a bit and send up perhaps a very slow card that takes a long time to pay off, so you're not going to fall behind directly. That's a lot of cav though. Wow.
Yeah, indeed.
Fielding the cav out of his I don't know, yeah. He has, put it this way, a very large anal cavity to pull all these cavalry out of somewhere that the sun does not shine. But that's a direct result of the 700 coin and food that he's been sending. I don't know, if he can get a nice catch with these on the strelets, he'll be
I think he's gonna... Yeah.
Oh, there's
he
a
will
raid coming up.
Probably move his whole army to... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's gonna... That's not good. He's gonna do a lot of damage with the Cossacks there. And even if Veni tries to retreat, they're just gonna...
Oh, look at that. 10 Cossack spam of Veni.
Wow, out of the 2 stables that he has built. Okay, or no, but there's so many Musks there. It's like there's a lot of Cossacks, and the only way this is going to be good is if he can perhaps cut off. Well, he's certainly got the 5 Musks there, pulling out an advantage where he can. Of course, these 5 Musks on their own can take those out fairly convincingly. He can take out these 5 Cossacks on the way, and perhaps the Strelets cut off the reinforcements. As Veni is always talking about cutting off reinforcements. And then, of course, if you do that, pick up the small advantages, maybe then even out the odds and take out the Strelets if you can. Here, calling the Minutemen, bringing them forward. The 2 Caravels on the side, going to add some support from the water. And, of course, Caravels, basically floating falconets, very strong. Veni knows he can't take it. Took so many villager losses in this fight here, and he knew he had to take this fight. Didn't work out. I think it's on the back foot the entire game after building 2 trading posts and sending spice trade. Was perhaps a bit greedy. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think Spadel had the early advantage because in the first battle, I would say, he had so much stuff, and Vini already had to retreat from the first blockhouse, and he already lose so much from this point. Also because Spadel had the 13 Strillet shipment so much earlier, so they were able to make so much damage against the Musketeers, which was very nice.
It was, yeah, I don't know, like, Spice trade, interesting, certainly good. So is the 2 trading posts, but maybe, like, I mean, it's easy for us to say, but maybe he thought he was in a better position than he was. Forced Stable into that defensive blockhouse. And I don't know, the game is everything you've been saying as well, sort of spiraled from there. But very interesting game. Certainly had a commanding lead at one point, but the rating from Spadel is certainly something to highlight from this one. But I think Spadel has limited time, so we're going to get into the next game right about now. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Game coming up. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's hope Spadel has enough time to do a third one.